What's up, guys? Your boy, 20K13. Gonna talk about the wrestling news wrap up for July 14, 2015. Update. Official statement on Alberto El Patron Missing Weekend Benefit Show. As we reported this weekend, former WWE superstar Alberto El Patron Del Rio did not appear at an advertised benefit show in Texas. Clutch City Productions, who promoted and sponsored the event, have released the following update and statement on the situation. Update on Alberto El Patron no-show situation. Earlier on Monday, Lone Star Championship Wrestling and Clutch City Productions issued statement regarding Alberto El Patron absent from his scheduled participation in Sunday night Busting for Autism event. Clutch City Productions has just released this update, and Lone Star Championship Wrestling will follow their lead and not comment further at this time. From Clutch City Productions, we have received word from Alberto Camp and were provided with information as to why he did not appear at the Busting for Autism event last night in Houston, Pasadena, Texas. Although we have documentation that will clearly define the situation in full, we are choosing to keep this a private matter at this time. However, we are anticipating that Alberto Camp will release a statement and take action to rectify the situation. Backstage, WWE reaction to big NXT Diva angle on Raw last night. Original plan for the segment. Ric Flair in attendance. More. According to PWInsider.com, WWE officials were thrilled with how the NXT Diva debut segment went down on Raw last night, and were pleased with the entire Diva Revolution angle. Originally, WWE had planned to run the angle closer to SummerSlam in August, but with the U.S. women's soccer team just winning the World Cup, WWE wanted to capitalize on all the attention the women were receiving. In related news, Charlotte's father, Ric Flair, was in attendance for Raw last night, and Charlotte's main roster debut was said to be a pretty emotional moment for Flair. Roddy Piper claimed he was sent a cease and desist letter over Steve Austin podcast controversy, had he been blocked from casting. An interesting update to the situation with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Roddy Piper, as it now appears Piper's attempt at getting back into the podcast game has been cut short. To recap, PodcastOne.com has taken down an episode of Piper podcast that featured an impression of Austin and jokingly discharged his character over the course of the show. This resulted in Roddy being released from the company and allegedly being released from his WWE Legend contract. Piper has since apologized on multiple occasions, stating that he doesn't understand the problem but doesn't have to, and was sorry if Austin was offended by anything that was said on the podcast. He attempted to re-upload the show in question and continue his series on SoundCloud, but then apparently received the aforementioned cease and desist letter. There are a few possible options here, and it's hard to tell what actually happened because Piper can be one of the most outspoken, quick-to-outburst personalities in the wrestling business. One possibility is that the letter was sent to stop Piper from talking about Austin altogether. Another is that he could have had something in his contract with Podcast One to prevent him from jumping ship to another platform for a specific amount of time. We will of course provide any update to this story as they become available. Former WWE Diva Sunny arrested for DUI. In an incident that has just come to light, former WWE Diva Sunny was arrested on a DUI charge recently. The incident occurred in Lexington, Pennsylvania on May 30th. According to the Standard Speaker, Sunny's real name Tammy Six was arrested at 1:32 a.m. in the car park of a Walmart store. Police had witnessed her driving through the exit and hitting a curb. They went over to the scene and had her take a field sobriety test, which she failed with a blood alcohol level of .253. She lived in nearby Palmerston and was charged with 2 counts of DUI, in addition to 2 summary violations for driving with a suspended license and for careless driving. Unfortunately for Sonny, this is just the latest incident in a long list of low points since leaving the WWE in 1998. Recently, she even turned to doing Skype sessions as a way of making money, which apparently consists of basic cyber sex. Her most recent tweet was on July 9th, simply reading, "Taking Skype reservations for tonight." On the night of her DUI, her Twitter indicated that she actually been hosting Skype sessions earlier that night. She sent several tweets out May 30th encouraging followers to pay for a session. Perhaps she was drinking during these sessions and then decided to go for a drive to the shop, where she was caught out for her reckless behavior. The Undertaker getting in shape for WWE return. The Undertaker is looking in tremendous shape after working out with Joe DeFranco this week. The specialist trainer posted a photo to his Twitter with the caption, "The Undertaker finished 2-day workout with a gun show. Looking forward to seeing his progress on our program." This isn't the first time that DeFranco has worked closely with getting WWE superstars in shape. He regularly worked with both Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, designing functional training programs to fit around their busy schedule. In the Undertaker picture, you can see that his upper body muscle is looking good. However, you also notice the support on his knees, which gives away the fact that inside he's a bit of a mess. Still, at 50 years old, he looks outwardly better than most his age do. There's an excellent chance he'll be back wrestling next year at WrestleMania 32, which will be taking place in his home state of Texas. This photo of him keeping in shape has even resulted in speculation that he'll be back a lot sooner than that, especially after Paul Heyman brought up The Undertaker to Kane during Raw last night. In truth, it is very unlikely that he'll be back in 2015. His workout with DeFranco is more about keeping in year-round shape, which is vitally important to maintain as the body gets older and training becomes harder. Original plan for Dean Ambrose at Sunday's WWE Battleground pay-per-view. According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, Dean Ambrose was originally scheduled to face Kane at the Battleground pay-per-view event. However, those plans were changed. As of now, Ambrose doesn't have a match for Battleground, and Kane did an injury angle on Monday Raw, so it appears that the two will be left off the show. It's always possible WWE booked Ambrose in a match on the show against someone else. And finally, more on WWE planning a Stardust vs. the Green Arrow feud for SummerSlam. It appears that WWE is indeed going in the direction of a Stardust vs. the Green Arrow feud for SummerSlam next month. Stephen Amell in the middle changed shots on Twitter last night. Well, that's it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Peace.